attention to Balochistan and especially to alert about human rights violation in Balochistan. With us here today, Balochistan National Movement, which is committed to securing the rights and struggling for a free Balochistan. Balochistan National Movement is claiming an urgent call for international support and action against those human rights violations in Balochistan. During the actual 55th human rights session in the United Nations in Geneva, Balochistan National Movement is conducting different political activities to highlight Pakistan's human rights violations in Balochistan and to seek support from the international community. And I have the pleasure to give the floor to Dr. Nassim Baloch, chairman of the Baloch National Movement. Dr. Nassim Baloch, the floor is yours.
Okay, thanks. Thanks a lot. There are our other colleagues and friends. Fahim Baloch is the coordinator of the foreign department of our organization. And Jamal Baloch, he is the media person for our human rights institution that is called PANK. And Manzoor Baloch, he is the president of our United Kingdom chapter. Abdul Wahid, he is the president of the Netherlands chapter for our party. And Hamal Baloch, he is our representative from Germany and also a Central Committee member. I thanks all the audience, all the journalists present here. I also thanks again the Geneva Press Club for holding this press conference. Ladies and gentlemen, esteemed members of the Geneva Press Club, thank you for being here today. As in the introduction, it is already told, I am Dr. Nassim Baloch, the chairman of the Baloch National Movement, a party advocating for the independence of Balochistan from Pakistan's unwarranted invasion. Our purpose today is to shed light on the challenges faced by the Baloch nation and to urgently request the international community, given the media blackout in Balochistan, to recognize and address our concerns. Balochistan boasts a rich cultural heritage marked by resilience and an ongoing struggle for self-determination, that is also independence. The Baloch people have deep roots dating back millennia, maintaining a distinct identity, a distinct language, and a way of life despite historical upheavals. Over the centuries, they have resisted external domination through tribal structures and alliances, even during the British colonization era in the Indian subcontinent. In 1947, Balochistan was declared independent, but soon it was occupied by the Pakistan in 1948. The Baloch nation continuously raised, in fact, resisted this illegal invasion. Since then, the Baloch people have faced severe human rights violations, including enforced disappearances, extrajudicial killings, torture, and arbitrary arrests at the hands of Pakistani state agencies and its other forces. The systematic suppression has created an atmosphere of fear and oppression in our homeland. Adding to our concerns are the alarming instances of enforced disappearances and mass graves in Balochistan, which underlines the dire human rights situation. The Baloch nation is grappling with the tragic reality of loved ones disappearing without a trace, often falling victim to the brutal tactics employed by the Pakistani agencies. Additionally, there is a department associated with the Pakistani army, a so-called terrorism Counter-Terrorism Department has been involved in fake encounters, perpetuating a circle of injustice and violence against the innocent Baloch civilians. The media blackout in Balochistan demonstrates the gravity of the situation. The region is not only heavily controlled by the Pakistan army, but is also devoid of any independent media. Journalists are constrained from reporting on the ground realities, and people of Balochistan are denied the right to access unbiased information. The media blackout serves to conceal the extent of human rights violations, making it imperative for the international community to take notice and intervene in support of our struggle for freedom, justice, and the preservation of our cultural identity. We urgently request the United Nations and the broader international community to address and champion the cause of the Baloch nation. We seek an end to the systematic injustices and violations that our people endure. The world's attention is vital in ensuring the Baloch nation's plea for freedom and justice is heard and acted globally. Our shared humanity calls for the collective action to alleviate the suffering of the Baloch people, and we stand before you today in the hope that our plea will resonate across borders, prompting a just and humane response. I thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Nassim Baloch. Would you like to give the floor to one of your fellow speakers, or would you like to start to ask our audience if there is a question?
No, we go for the questions.
Okay, please wait for the microphone. Here you are. Please present yourself.
Yeah, my name is Niaz Baloch. My question is from Fahim Baloch, that Pakistan claims the Baloch people are happy with it, and Balochistan Provincial Assembly represents the people of Balochistan. So I want to know, how do you respond to this Pakistani narrative? Thank you.
Thank you very much. If we see the current elections in Pakistan, I think all of the political parties, they are claiming it is a rigged election. And in Balochistan specifically, I'll quote the previous Chief Minister of Balochistan. He got only 500 and something, 520 or so, 525 votes. Means 99.7% people refused to vote in that area. And Baloch National Movement, as it believes, is struggling for the independence of Balochistan. So the people of Balochistan followed the slogan which was given by Baloch National Movement, that these are not legitimate parliaments, or through the Parliament of Pakistan, we cannot kick out the invaders from Balochistan. So people, they followed the call of Baloch National Movement, and 99.7% people, they didn't vote in the elections. Thank you.
Thank you. Another question or comment?
Thank you. My name is Hatim, and my question is with Jamal, because he's quietly active with climate issues. So recently we saw there is a huge flood came in Gwadar. So how would you see why this happened, and why when it rains so much destructions comes to Baloch areas? What do you think about this?
this is obvious that we are facing a climate crisis worldwide, but we are the direct victims of climate destruction in Balochistan, since there is no development in that area. And just recently, there were floods in Balochistan, various parts of Balochistan, especially the coastal areas of Balochistan. We all have heard about Gwadar, famous for the CPC, deep sea port of China. Entire Gwadar was floating in water, but there were no rescue efforts. There were no support from the government to the people that could survive, that could help these people to rebuild their houses or evacuate from their houses. We are facing it directly in Balochistan, and one of the reasons that why people suffer the most in Balochistan is the lack of responsibility from the government, since it's a colonial rule in Balochistan and the government only focuses on to exploit the land, and it doesn't really care about the people, as we have also been discussing the human rights violations in Balochistan. So the people continue to suffer in Balochistan due to climate crisis. It's not just the recent incident that happened, it was not just the recent floods, but it happens every year in Balochistan. From last 2 decades, we are continuously facing floods and climate change disaster in our region. Thank you.
Thank you. Another question or comment here in the room? Okay. I pass you the microphone.
Je vais poser ma question en français, mais vous pourrez répondre en anglais. On voit combien il est difficile d'insérer la question du Balochistan dans l'agenda international, alors que vous êtes au cœur même d'une région avec des acteurs majeurs, des changements qui s'opèrent aujourd'hui dans ce qu'on appelle la mise en place d'un nouvel ordre mondial. Comment expliquez-vous que finalement la communauté internationale soit très prudente avec la question du Balochistan, et comment comptez-vous vous y prendre pour justement essayer d'attirer un peu plus l'attention sur cette question qui, si on regarde les cartes, effectivement est assez centrale?
So why is international community so cautious and so slow to react to Balochistan question?
Yes, I understood. Thanks. Yes, for the international community and for our cause and our party which we represent on the international stage, there is a large diaspora, there is a large, we cannot say a large membership, but there is a large membership and representatives of our party, BNM, across the globe, in Europe and other parts of the world. We are continuously campaigning through our, we can say, our contacts to the human rights organizations like Amnesty International, Human Rights Watch. As we discussed the enforced disappearances, we are already trying to, we can say we have succeeded to register some cases of enforced disappearances to the UN body which works on the enforced disappearances, a working group. But as far as the global powers, we know that there are interests of the different countries to other countries. As we are occupied, we are colonized, we are a colonized nation, colonized by Pakistan. Pakistan has its, as a state, they have relations with the other world, and there is a media blackout for the crimes, what they are doing. They are going to hide all this. So it is difficult to reach the to cross the boundaries of the world powers and to make them listen our voices. They are in. We have little bit connections. We, as today in our conference, a member of parliament from United Kingdom, he was speaking. We have little bit supporters from different countries who are the member of their parliaments, who are activists working on human rights basis. They are our voice, we can say. But at state level, we can say it is difficult. We are trying to engage them. We are trying to make our interests, to align our interests with their interests, as the states do. We are at a stage to continue. We have a struggle which is continued since years. We are doing this on daily basis, and we hope we will succeed a day.
Thank you. Another question, Mr. Jourdain.
Je vais juste relancer. Simplement, ce matin, pendant vos travaux, il y a une universitaire qui est intervenue et qui a dit que, effectivement, il y avait aussi une peur de la communauté internationale, qui était une balkanisation de la région, que c'était aussi cette crainte qui faisait qu'un certain nombre de pays étaient prudents avec la question du Balochistan. Qu'est-ce que vous avez comme assurance à donner, justement, sur cette peur d'une balkanisation de la région?
Yes, but we hope so. But yes, it is a very difficult region also. We are surrounded and divided in 3 different countries in Pakistan, Iran, and Afghanistan. Pakistan has a mindset of, as we know, by its name, Islamic Republic of Pakistan. And the other side, Islamic Republic of Iran, other side, the Islamic country, Afghanistan. Though we don't have any clashes, any conflict with Iran and Afghanistan, but our boundaries, our people, they live on the other side of other sides of this Balochistan, which we talking, occupied by Pakistan. So it is very difficult among these mindset about what they are working for. And for your question, balkanization, it depends on the situation which comes in the future. We don't know what will happen, but our struggle for an independent Balochistan from Pakistan, it continues. It comes either way, either they quit, either there's a polarization, complete polarization of Pakistan, or the UN Charter of Self-Determination works and we get independence. We are on our way.
Thank you very much. Do we have another question here? Okay, I bring you the microphone.
Hello everyone, I'm Imran Hakim Baloch. My question is from Dr. Naseem Baloch. First of all, congratulations for having a great events earlier today. I want to know what are your party's next events during UN's 55th Human Rights Season?
Yes, thanks. During UN session, we always organize interventions during Human Rights Council, which we are having from the next week. And we have demonstrations, protests for mobilization of the people. We have planned, there are so many literatures printed and put here. There are booklets. We are going to distribute them among the masses during the United Nations this session to mobilize the people, to mobilize the organizations working here. Thanks.
Okay, does that answer your question? Yeah. Okay.
My question is to Jamal Baloch. As you are working on human rights, would you be able to give us a figure of individual who become the victim of enforced disappearances in Balochistan? Thank you.
The issue of enforced disappearances in Balochistan exists from more than 4 decades. There are people who have been forcibly disappeared. From 40 years, no one knows where are they. Even their families have no information about them. And there are thousands in number. Since Balochistan is a conflict region, it is very hard to get the exact figure. But we, as a responsible organization in Balochistan, we have did our best to get the numbers so that we could document them and raise awareness about the enforced disappearances issue. Since our department has been working from 2 years, although we have figures from different organizations that have been working longer than us on the field of human rights, have recorded a large number that says around 47,000 people are forcibly disappeared or have been the victims of enforced disappearances in Balochistan. I would say that number might be correct because since we have been monitoring the issue of enforced disappearances in Balochistan, it's just in 2 days, 2019 cases were reported to us by the families, by our sources, and by our party members in Balochistan. And the average number of disappearances every day in Balochistan is 3 people that go forcibly disappeared by the hands of Pakistani forces every single day. Some, I would say very few among them get released from Pakistani custody, but the majority of those who have been forcibly disappeared, as we have been monitoring it, as I had already said, that the number from 2 years that we have documented is 2019. From them, it is very few, around 400 people were released. And it is also very hard to get the exact figure. I cannot say that what we have documented is the actual number. It can exceed because since I already said that it's a conflict region, people normally, the families of forcibly disappeared people are threatened after their family members are forcibly disappeared. Suppose one of your brothers is disappeared and you want to file a case, you want to go and register his case to the police station. The police denies to register your case. And once you attempt to register his disappearance, then the authorities continuously try to threaten you that if you try to highlight the issue of your brother who has been disappeared, we will disappear your another brother or your father or your mother or any of your family member. So most of the people are really afraid because it's a very, very dangerous issue. Normally people just try to be on the safe side and do not report the disappearances of their loved ones. But as much we could do, we could find, and that number from 2 years is 2019. And each single one who was disappeared, we have all of their data, we have their addresses, we have their family members' contact numbers, and we have their photographs. This is how we have documented these cases. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Do we have another last question? Okay, here.
Hello everyone, my name is Umer Baloch, and I would like to ask a question to Fahim Baloch. We have heard in Balochistan there are multi-billion projects which are going on. One of the largest gold and copper mines is situated in Balochistan. How do the Baloch people see these foreign projects? Thank you.
Thank you very much. I would mention just 4 mega projects going on in Balochistan. One is the Sandak project. It's a gold project. It's being run by a Chinese state company. And as per the figures, they have got 412 million tons of containing average 5 grams, 0.5 grams of gold and per ton, and 1.5 grams of silver. One of the projects is that, and second is with one of the Canadian companies, that is Sandak project, Recodic project, and third is the gas exploration going on in Sui district of Dirabukti, and it's estimated that it has got the gas. Overall, Pakistan has got 25.1 trillion cubic feet of gas, out of which 19 trillion comes from Balochistan. And it would be amazing for you that still the gas comes from Sui. It's called Sui gas in Pakistan, and most of the Sui area still does not have gas, and rest of the Pakistan is getting gas from that. And the last, which is another colonization plan by China, that's Pakistan-China Economic Corridor. It's claimed to be a corridor for economic development, but most probably it looks like a military kind of Pakistan and China's program, and settlement of Chinese in Balochistan and settlement of people from Pakistan. It is a project over there. So these all projects, without the consent of people of Balochistan, are being done in Balochistan. Thank you.
Thank you. Do we have another question or comment here? Okay. If this is not the case, I thank you very much, Dr. Nassim Baloch. Thank you to all your fellow speakers too. Thank you for the interesting conference you gave today, and also for the interesting press conference you gave today to the Geneva Press Club. And ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for your attention today. Thank you.
Thanks.